Big Boy's Neighborhood. Alrighty, man. Our neighbor, good friend Tory Lanez back in the neighborhood, man. Pleasure to see you back in the neighborhood, man.
Thank y'all for having me.
You don't stop working though, huh?
Never.
I
was just here, right?
Yeah, but even when you not working, you working.
Always.
I heard that, man. Does it still feel good, but does it still feel good to you, man?
It feels incredible.
Why?
Man. That's why I live in rollout mode, in like album rollout mode.
Really though, because some people, man, they kind of like, okay, damn, there's some that just the process of going to the studio, creating, getting back out doing radio. You don't mind any of that yet?
I mean, nah, I love the work. I love the work. I always go to the stations. I always tell the DJs, the PDs, like, yo, whatever kind of work y'all got for me, let me know, because I love the work at the end of the day.
Because there's times when I've seen you up here where you'll do the morning, you'll do like the midday, the afternoon, and the night show. Yeah. And then I come in the next morning, you be like, all right, peace, bro. I'm out of here. I'm like, man, like you putting it in. All right, so Love Me Now, we got to talk about that, man. Now, the new album, or do you feel like you're in competition with yourself? You know how there's sometimes now that we have bodies of music that we can compare it to?
Nah, you know what it is? I feel like with my previous projects, I always, like, when they put the word album there, you always kind of feel like, get a little eerie, like, damn, like, it's the album, so everything's gotta be super, like, intact, and everything's gotta be super calculated. And I always felt like, because, I have multiple talents and I'm so versatile, like, all right, I gotta make sure this is balanced, right? So I gotta have the best rap record here, and I gotta spit 80 bars here, and then I gotta sing. And
does that make you crazy though, or you enjoy the crazy?
It just kind of makes the process take longer. So with this project, I just treated it more like a mixtape. Like it's more like a mixtape, a collaborative mixtape, if you will, because it has so many collabs on it.
Yeah, how do you pick who you collab with?
I don't usually collab with niggas.
Yeah, but but with that being said, also though, like, how do you pick who you collaborate with?
To be 100% with you, I make music, and I feel like I have a good ear for like who would sound good on.
Right. So when you hear something, you say, I hear this person on here.
Yeah, like, and that's really how a lot of the collabs came on this project, because I came to a place. And even like the backstory of this project, and even like how this even came about was crazy. Like, you feel me? Like, I was on a jet to Summer Jam.
On a jet.
But let me explain to you why. I'm not even trying to stunt.
Okay, because I thought you were, but go ahead.
It sounded like that.
It kind of did.
It sounds like that.
Yeah. All righty, go ahead now.
So we was on this jet before we got on this jet, and I remember the day I went there. I was really rambunctious, and I was like, and I had to get. And we get to this place, and I'm looking through the gate, because you're supposed to go through that little room, and then you go to the outside if you don't drive in. And we had got dropped in the front of it, so I'm looking through the gate, and they doing something with the nose of the plane, right? Like, I guess fixing it or whatever the case is. And then the guy comes out, and he's like, yo, y'all can't leave for another 45 minutes because there's like wear and tear on the plane, or something like that, he said. I remember just being there like, no, man, I gotta get, fuck that, I gotta go, my nigga, like, da-da-da-da. And then it ended up being a situation where he gets on the phone, like 10 minutes later, he's like, oh, no, we good, we gonna be good in 20 minutes. It's gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? They just tell him the weather, da-da-da-da-da, weather in New York, and we about to be out in 20 minutes, all of a sudden. So I'm like, all right, cool, bet. Then we're flying. I'm sleeping. Now it's me. I brought my dog on the plane. I brought my like one security guard, this new security who was trying to like intern that day, and like a couple of us, my friends, a couple of us. And I remember being in the air, and I'm sleeping, and all of a sudden I just hear beep, it's loud beep, and I'm like, yo, what's this? You know what I'm saying? What's this beeping? So all of a sudden, I'm sleeping, but the beep just is staying. It's not like leaving, like, you feel me? So it keeps like waking me up out of my sleep. I get up now, and all of a sudden, I just see the things fall.
Yeah, you never want to see. Yeah,
I see the masks fall now, right? So now I'm like, oh shit, masks is falling.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like,
and then you try to remember what they tell you. Like, man, this ain't a good scene right here.
Exactly, and then remember, like, I'm at this point, I'm like waking up out of sleep, so I'm a little like drowsy, and like not really understanding what's going on. I keep hearing this thing, I see the thing, so my dog GP's on the plane. I'm like, yo, he's a dude who takes a lot of jets. So I'm like, yo, bro, like, you know, what's up with this? And he's like, no, we good, man. It's just because we were smoking and da-da-da-da. You know, sometimes them shits be coming down. Because I had an experience one time when they came down and it was just because we were smoking. I look in the front of the plane, I see the pilot, and the pilot putting his mask on.
Oh, no.
Pilot putting his mask on. The other pilot, they strapping up, they talking all kinds of code to each other, right? And so now I'm like, yo, what's really going on? All of a sudden, we start shaking a little bit now. So I'm like, yo, this shit getting kind of crazy. Then all of a sudden, we was at 39,000 feet. First of all, we was at 39,000 feet. And the plane starts shaking, and all of a sudden we just feel a first one. It was just the first
Hey, dude, and the feeling in the pit of your stomach when that happened.
Let me explain to y'all something. I'm that guy who in life, like, I don't care, and God forbid, like, but if I go out and I get shot or like however I die in life, I just hope that it's not in a plane. Like, I'm one of those guys who's so scared of like the turbulence and like I'm one of those guys who can't be around none of that. Like, I'm the guy who like. You know, like, we could shake and I'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, boom. Planes like this, it goes, whoo. So now I'm like, yo, that was pretty deep. Then it's So now I'm like, yo, we're falling. Like, niggas is screaming.
Hell yeah.
Niggas is in the back, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My brother Jay is trying to curse out the pilot. What the fuck you doing? But it's not the pilot's fault.
Yeah.
We're just going through some shit. Nigga, at one point, this shit started feeling like a trampoline. My nigga, my dog was on me. I threw this nigga off.
Yeah.
Dog was off me. So all of a sudden, and this was the first time, and luckily, like the week before, me and my brother happened to be talking about this, and the week before, we said something along the lines of like, when you're in a plane, you know, you're supposed to get into the crouch position if you know, that's the way you don't feel the stuff in your stomach and all this other stuff. Randomly, I guess, for some reason that stuck in my head, so I get down.
Did you think like I'm preparing for impact? Like,
I don't know what I was preparing for.
Damn.
But I went down and I'm crouched down and I'm like, and the whole time I'm just praying. I'm like, yo, God, I know you're not gonna let me go out like this. Like I know you're not gonna let me go out like this. I'm like, yo, the plane is protected. Like, I got faith in you. The plane is protected. Like, I know that this is not the way I'm supposed to go. I just kept praying. We're going through these. I'm like praying and it's starting to turn into. I ain't gonna lie. Down there set a tail on that joint.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like, yo,
like, keep it real for real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to, luckily, the plane was going down and it stopped. It stopped falling at 11,000 feet.
Wow.
Now, check this out, right? There's a screen that says the duration of the flight, the altitude of where you are, and how long it's been in the time and all that, right? So let's say it's like 5:30. We were at 39,000 feet. After all of this happened, because what happened was the autopilot disconnected. The autopilot is what keeps the plane smooth, like that feeling when you're just like staying still in the sky. That's the autopilot taking you to your destination. Pilots don't really fly. They only fly for 8 minutes. Then the autopilot takes you to your destination. Yeah, the pilots can get up and do whatever.
Hell yeah, we seen that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the autopilot is actually what's flying you. The autopilot disconnected, and then we fell into a category like 3 storm. So the plane fell into a category 3 storm. At this point, there's thunder. Not thunder. There's lightning all around the plane and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, we get there. Now, mind you, we was at 39,000 feet. Let's say it's 5:30. I looked up. It was 5:32, and we was at 11,000 feet.
Oh, wow.
So we dropped, 20-something thousand feet in a matter of a minute and 30 seconds. We fell out the sky.
Yeah, and that's a long, and that had to be a long ass minute and a half, 2 minutes too, though.
To me, that was like 15 minutes.
Hell yeah.
It was a solid 15 minutes of just the worst thing I could ever think of. You feel me? And then I'm thinking about my son. I'm thinking about all kinds of stuff. And like, it come to this point where when I get off the plane, I go perform in front of all of these people. And I'm just like, yo, like, if I was to go, did I get to, number one, be a light in everybody's life with my music? Did I get to impact the world that I wanted in the way that I wanted to? Did I get to work with all the people that I should have worked with when I, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, what if that was the day? Like, I'm a guy who goes on records, goes on albums. My first album was Grammy nominated and had no features. No features at all. I'm a guy who doesn't do features like that. So for me, it's like, damn, like I need to extend it and share myself with my peers, my music with my peers, and share that feeling with my peers so we can have things that they can remember if I got to go.
Hell yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Hey man, that is a whole different reason from just the hit record.
Nah, and that's the thing about it is like, that's why with this record, for some reason, like after that whole experience, I took this and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not even gonna go about this in no kind of like format that I used to go about this. I'm just gonna let this be free. I'm gonna have all of the artists that I want to work with just be on it and let them be free and let me be free. I don't care what anybody says. This sound is just gonna be free. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be one of those things because I'm in album mode and I gotta make the right album for the right listeners and the tasteful and the nah, like fuck that. I'm about making music that sounds like it's in color now. I'm not like, you know, before I felt like I was making music that was visually good. It's like back in the days when you seen the first movies, they were black and white, they were great. But once them shits got in color. It were amazing.
And you see texture and tones and
that's what I'm saying. It became alive. My thing is just like my music is alive now. You know, and it's because it's a reason on why I want to express myself despite how anybody feels about my shit. There's a reason why I want to express it. So at the end of the day, it's like that was the inspiration behind this project. Was like, yo, I'm gonna collab with people that I want to collab with, artists that I respect.
That's dope.
People that I listen to their music. I'm a fan of their music. You know,
when you didn't collaborate, was it more? Not that I don't need them. Like, was there a reason why you didn't collaborate?
You know what it is? Back in the days, I used to take things very personal, and when I was coming up, I used to take things like, yo, this nigga didn't work with me when I was coming up, and now I'm hot. Now this nigga wanna work with me. Nah, fuck this nigga. But in our reality, it's like I've come to a realization that at the end of the day, and me just being honest with myself, like that's a selfish way of thinking. Because sometimes, Tory, you just were not popping enough to be in that situation with that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever ask early on? Or felt like, man, we need to work together?
Oh, no, I was out there.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So, yeah, so that was
shitted on me.
Yeah, that was valid when you said, man, F them. That was valid.
Niggas did me crazy. I'm talking about niggas did me crazy. But at the end of the day, I had to realize the number one thing
anybody that's on the album now?
Nah, look.
Yeah, they did. We leave it there.
Look, but
hey, bro, falling out the sky changed you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but it wasn't necessarily saying
Trey Songz. What did Trey Songz do to you?
Nah, that's my dog.
Man,
it was. He's over here looking.
He's gonna go down.
Nah,
hey, dude. So when Chris Brown early on, when Chris Brown told you fuck no.
Nah, Chris Brown.
Okay, it wasn't Chris. All right.
Nah,
I think you and Meek had a little.
I'll give you a story. I'll give you a story. But it wasn't like a you shitted on me story. It was just like, even when I think about it, like I just wasn't popping enough. You know what I'm saying? As talented as I may have been at the time. Right. You know, I wasn't.
It's easier to look in the rearview mirror now, though.
I wasn't, bro.
When you say I wasn't popping enough, but
no, I wasn't. You know, and that's the thing. Like I'm at a place in myself where I'm just honest. Like I don't even care. Like if you don't like me, bro, like it is what it is. Yeah. But like, you know, like one day I met 2 Chainz in the mall. Right. I met him literally in front of True Religions. Like when 2 Chainz was. I'm riding around and I'm getting like 2 Chainz, like was
that's 2 Chainz,
like blah, like you know what I'm saying, like 2 Chainz, like. And I remember I met him in the mall, and I walked up to him and I was like, yo, I gotta work with you, and I said to him, I said something along the lines, but I don't think he was really feeling me at the moment, and I was just like, yo, bro, like one day, bro, like I'm gonna do a song with you, bro, like, and he looked at me and he was like, all right, keep working, and I walked off and I was like. Damn, like maybe a nigga probably ain't really, you know what I'm saying? But then when I did the song with him and he sent his verse back, I texted him and I said, bro, you may not ever remember this, but I met you in front of the True Religion store and I told you one day we was going to do a record.
So the whole while from that day
that was years ago.
He never knew like
this was like that was in like 2012. Wow. I've never worked with 2 Chainz.
But you never even saw him and said, "Hey man, that's dope."
I never saw him.
I love how you wait till you got the verse though.
Like I got the verse and I was like, because I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, damn, I remember I told this nigga I was gonna work with him one day. Like I should tell him that. And even when I told him, he was like, that's some ill. She was like, that's some ill shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that's some dope shit. Like, you feel me? Because it was one of those things where it was like, you know, when somebody come up to you and tell you, yo, one day I'm gonna be on your station one day.
Yeah.
And like they might just pop and you might not even remember that was the same kid that was like, yo,
man.
I'm gonna be on the station.
And you know
one
it's
day,
the truth.
you know
I get, and I'm gonna tell you, Tory, I get people that hit me up like, man, I told you. But anytime somebody say I'm gonna be on your show, and I just tell them, I say, man, I'll see you there. You know what I'm saying? Like I will see you there. You know what I'm saying? The only thing, God willing, is I'm still sitting here. But when somebody's getting it on, like, man, does that make you feel different when somebody else come up to you now and say, man, I need to, or do you just like, man, get the fuck away from me?
Nah. I mean, for me personally, bro, it's like I pick and choose when I'm like, yo, man, nah, like you deserve like when people really shitted on me for like no reason. Those are the ones I don't play with. I'd be like, yo,
I heard that.
Like, you shouldn't even be here.
How dare you even come in here?
Be here, bro. Like what you doing?
Man, like, how are you at my party?
It don't make no sense. Like, for me personally, bro, like, I don't dwell on those things anymore because now I realize the number one thing about being successful in all aspects is two things. You have to drop your ego, number one, and the second thing is to not take anything personal, even the most personal things. You have to not take personal.
What brought you to that?
It just, I think just over a period of time and just me realizing, like, even with this project, the reason why we got all these features and these features were in time and like you know, you can get certain verses on time and you can get certain things back was because we dropped the ego of like, man, I'm not gonna call this nigga 3 times.
Yeah.
I was calling niggas 7 times. Nigga. I was in that. Me and
just wanted to tap your shoulder again, man. I need that.
And honestly, I honestly gotta give it up to my cousin Uno, who also executive produced this project because he was the one who came in the room and was like, yo, Tory, like the music that you're working on right now is too crazy and like you need to start working with other people. Like give me your phone, bro. Like I'm gonna text these people for you. Like, you feel me? Like, and then it showed me like sometimes you just gotta hit niggas more than once, bro. It's like not like literally. And
sometimes
like,
it's no disrespect.
It's nothing. It's like
you just start moving a little
just
bit.
as busy as you be.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you can't really.
But it is different when it happened to us, though.
But when it happens to, bro, I used to be like, bruh, like, this nigga crazy, my nigga. Like, yo, like, I will fly to this kid's city and slap him, my nigga. Like, yo, like.
And for those who know, they know. And for those who don't, like, you just cut from a different cloth, too, though. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like, you cut from a different cloth, bro.
I'm built from a place of respect.
Yeah.
Everything that I do.
But knowing you the way I know you, and it's limited. You know what I'm saying? But also, you know, catching up on you or just seeing how you work or even just how you get down. Like you are one of the realest motherfuckers in the game too, though. You know what I'm saying? And by that, I mean, you just cut from a different cloth. And there's a cloth that people cut from where it's like, it's you know, that's entertainment. Now that's what happened. But then there's also a cloth where it's like, no, that was kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
And I've noticed that in you. That there is, you just cut from a different cloth, and sometimes you gotta shape that cloth. You got and I see that you're doing it now. But like, yeah, the first thing is a line of respect too.
Yeah, because you know, even like with anything that has ever happened to me online, and like anything that's ever been like something that you've seen about me, it's the one misconception is people don't understand. I don't react unless something is disrespectful. I don't react unless something is very disrespectful to me.
And then you don't go crazy. You just almost be like, hey, let me holler at you.
Because it's nothing to talk about. I don't want to scream at you no more, brother. It's like,
yeah,
what are we screaming at? Like, from me personally, like, I'm not a confrontational guy. And I think that there's a misconception that like Tory's a confrontational guy. I'm not a confrontational guy. I actually like to chill and relax. But I don't do well with disrespect because when I grew up, the way I grew up, people gotta understand is like, I grew up in a house of 3 dudes. And I didn't even really know these dudes that well. And their whole situation was they moms did them some sort of way and kind of abandoned them. And so they whole everything was, yo, if I buy this, yo, respect the fact that I bought this and don't touch my shit. You get what I'm saying? Or we're fighting. And I didn't understand those rules when I first started living with them. So I grew up just rocking with niggas because I was disrespecting niggas and I didn't understand how I was disrespecting niggas. So I grew, and these niggas were older than me. So when I was 14, these niggas were 18, 2024. You get what I'm saying? And I'm rocking with these niggas every single day because I ain't have money to buy food and certain things. But if they bought the food in the house, they bought a loaf of bread and it was 24 slices. Yo, I don't care if you touch one of them slices, we're locking over that. So it's like you gotta understand like where I come from. I'm not a and
that's what I say with
and
the
even
cloth,
in those
man.
situations, I was the kid that was on the couch, you know, chilling, and then all of a sudden you got like you 14 years old, you on the couch chilling, and you made 2 hours ago, and nigga gets off work and looking for that extra slicing that he can't find, and nigga coming in and just rock your shit.
Yeah.
And then you locking on niggas like, oh shit, nigga just rocked my shit. Like, all right, I'm back locking again. I'm not the nigga who came in the house like, yeah, nigga, I ate your slice. Nigga,
What you gonna do?
Nigga,
Yeah, I wish you would.
like it wasn't.
It was delicious too. It was delicious. It was delicious. No.
Like, nah, I'm not like that. So at the end of the day, like, it's the same principle now. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a confrontational person. I just don't do well with disrespect. And once I feel like we cross a certain line, there's nothing that me and you need to
talk about.
And that's the cloth that I'm cut from.
Easy call.
I have no choice, but that's just how I was raised.
Easy
Feel
call.
me?
Speaking about working with people and egos, Nicki Minaj was originally on Shooters. She asked you to take her off the track. Where are you guys at now?
I don't know.
Not speaking.
I don't really talk to Nicki Minaj. She don't talk to me either. I don't have a thing like that with her.
Well,
I never really had a crazy
we got her on the
relationship
phone. Would
with
you
her
like to speak
that.
to her real quick? No, just
I'm about to be like, yeah, put it on. Like, yo, this shit could have been bigger.
Yeah.
Did she just like not, do you feel like, did she not take like your suggestion? Because if I remember the story right, you simply suggested for her to do her verse a
My
different
nigga,
way.
the only thing I find crazy, and I'm a realist. I'm a realist. So
I love how you called you my ninja. You're like, hell, ninja.
Nah, she know it. We good friends. Like,
hello.
My only thing is like, I just find it crazy. Like, I never said a disrespect to her when the situation happened. I never came at her no kind of way. All I said was like, yo, I was just saying something about the verse, like, yo, maybe we could try switching this part with this part and da 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 da.
Right.
Just a suggestion, you feel me? Nah, take me off the song, da 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 da. But then you get on an interview and be like, yo, Quavo told me, when I had to switch my verse, and then I had to go and take time and rewrite my verse and da da da. So what? When Quavo tell you something, nigga, like,
Is it
my
different?
nigga, like, I don't get it, my nigga. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm trying to understand, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to understand. I don't know, but maybe their relationship is different. So at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, but my nigga, come on. Like, it was never. I'm not a disrespectful person. The same way I don't like disrespect, I don't dish out disrespect because I don't like it.
I heard
And
that.
I know that other people must not like it if I don't like it as much as I don't like it.
But there's been times in your career where somebody said to you, switch that, or let's get back in the booth. You could do that better. Like, that happens.
For sure. And at the end of the day, sometimes, like, you can agree to disagree, or you can go change it. And for the most part, sometimes there's actually a reason why people feel a certain way, or something doesn't click or connect, or, and I think sometimes, and I'm not talking about her or anybody, but just in a certain room, sometimes I think a lot of artists be around a lot of people that are like, yeah, that's
him.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, no, what is he talking about? Like, there's no way. Like, you are,
There's no way you could be wrong.
yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, you can be wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can be wrong. It's
And you gotta put
It's
those
okay
kind of
to be
people around
wrong
you as
sometimes.
well, though,
Yeah.
too. You know what I'm saying?
Balance.
Do you have a team of people that you fly right with?
All of my niggas will tell me no.
I heard that.
All of them.
Well, you need to get some people that's gonna tell you yes.
Yeah, you need a few yeses in there. You need balance, okay?
Nah, but all of my
Watch
niggas-
this.
all
Watch
of
this.
my
I'm
niggas-
gonna
if
show
it's-
you, Tory. Watch
it-
this. Am I the finest one in this room?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you so
Yes,
much.
you
man.
are.
Who got the most talent in here?
Hey, you
Big.
do
Thank you. You see, you got
Nah, if y'all niggas don't, yo,
No, you got
I was looking around like, y'all niggas, what the hell?
Yeah, man. Yeah. And you know what it is? It take time to find them too, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not like everybody, because sometimes people come up and they tell you, like, and I'm like, hold on.
Hey.
You don't talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying?
They don't.
Yeah. So I gotta surround my people with
definitely.
just yes people. You know what I'm saying? If you got everybody that'll tell you no, you need a new crew.
They're denying your
man.
success.
You need to hang with us.
Most definitely.
You need to hang with
Word.
us. Turn around and look at your team and tell them they all fired. Look, they left. There it is. Damn, you do gotta. They did fuck you back. All right. Well, y'all said, yeah, you all right. You got some real ones.
Right back. Yeah, you fired too, nigga.
Hey man, but my man, he didn't even lean up. He just relaxed like
this nigga.
Yeah, back on that shit. All right, yeah. You was crying the most on the jet when we falling out the sky.
Throwing your dog.
Yeah. Even the dog was like, oh, this motherfucker. How do you go about when you say, okay, if I want to put together a body of work, knowing now that we got something to compare it to, and I don't talk about pressures and things like that, but we did speak about collaborations. Like, what is the mindset when you're going to record this time? Everybody's a critic. Everybody, social media, everybody, here today, gone tonight. How do you battle with that?
I make so much music, and like I got so much shit in the stash that it's like I don't get upset if like something doesn't work or like if it doesn't connect, or you know what I'm saying. Like I make music, and I feel like if it connects with me, it's gonna connect and resonate with people that are like me and people that feel the same things as me, or feel it however they feel it, and like this tape, and I call it a tape.
Go ahead now.
Because I treated this like a mixtape. I feel like that's where a lot of my best music lives.
But why do you say mixtape as opposed to
because I'm a real mixtape kid.
Right.
Like before y'all heard Say It, I had like 7 to 9 or 10 mixtapes out. But I had my own fan base before there was a Say It and a Love and all of that stuff. I was selling out my own shows before that. Like, you feel me? Because I was
Who
a
do you
mixtape
make
kid.
a Love Me Now for now? Is it for Tory? Is it for those that's day one? Or is it the here and nows?
I think Love Me Now, honestly, is just for anybody who accepts it. And
'Cause it's
that's
all
why
Tory.
and that's why it's called Love Me Now. Because the thing about it is this is music that literally came from such a place of freeness, and the fact that I'm collaborating with your favorite artist. The fact that I'm, taking it to a certain level where all these records can go.
I do want to talk about the collabs as well, man.
Yeah,
and
for
when
sure.
you look at it, and I'm going to read what I have here. Meek Mill, Chris Brown, 2 Chainz, Bryson Tiller, Lil Baby, P&B Rock, A Boogie with the Hoodie, Gunna, Rich the Kid, Trippie Redd, Trey Songz. All right, and you on here too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Tory
Nav,
Lanez on
I
there?
think, too, is on there, too. Yeah.
Nav.
Okay, so when you put together something like that, and you say you do hear certain people for certain songs, how do you get in touch with someone and bring them to the table? Like, cause for one, people gotta not just lend their name to you. People gotta wanna rock with you. Gotta wanna fuck with you.
Of course, I think that a lot of artists,
And that's a hell of a list.
I think a lot of artists, all those artists, genuinely, like I genuinely fuck with their music, and I know that they genuinely fuck with mine.
Right.
And whether or not it's been because we've spoken on the phone or had a real conversation, or we actually talk all the time, like, or some sort of way, I know that the people that I did make music with on this project genuinely fuck with me. And reaching out to them, sometimes it's just a matter of the right time when someone's in the studio, or when someone's in the right situation to record and they're not on tour, or they're not somewhere where they can't record, because then it comes off like, oh man, he just never did my song. But it's like, it's not even like that sometimes. It's like, if I have downtime and I'm able to record Tory, I fuck with you. Like, I'll do the record, you feel me? And it was crazy doing all these records and just having people just sending their stuff back like this.
Did any features
Because I
not
felt
make
like
it on
everybody
there?
was gonna kind of just be like, I felt like it was like an impossible task. But like me and my man Uno would come through every day like, yo, bro, this is possible. Like it's possible.
Do
bro.
you
Like, we're
put
gonna do
together
it.
a wish list first, or do you just go
No.
as you go?
I had to go per song. Like, this sounds good. This sounds hard. This is what it is. You know what I'm
I'm a
saying?
little surprised to not see 6ix9ine on the tape, because he's in the music video for Talk to Me.
Oh yeah.
What?
Nah,
Why
I
didn't
haven't-
he make it on the tape?
I haven't seen 6 in a long time. We since he's been I think he went like in Europe or whatever the case is. Like, we haven't really seen each other in a while. We haven't really crossed paths.
How do you have your finger on? Because we know that there's a time period to recording as well. But how do you have your finger on the pulse of by the time the album come out, who you mess with? Like, there's something given. There's something that's given. Chris Brown is a given. You know what I'm saying? Trey Songz is a given. But then when you think about, let's say 6ix9ine, which is not on, but you have your pulse on him. You know what I'm saying? You have your pulse on the Trippie Redd, a Lil Baby, which is blowing. These cats are blowing right now.
Yeah.
How do you have your finger on that pulse that early on to say by the time mine come out, we'll be good?
I mean, I'm very good at listening to something and being like, yo, I can understand why this is about to go, or why this is hard, because it's speaking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when music, like, I'm somebody who, because I make so many different types of music, it's hard for music to speak to me or to make me feel it. It's like, you know, so when someone brings something different and I feel it, it's like I understand why people are feeling this. You feel me? And it's like when I can understand it, me being such a critic, I can understand the average person who's just listening to everyday music like, wow, this is good music. You know, for me, like, I don't anticipate what happens with artists. Right. I just anticipate how good the music is, and with the music that they drop after, how long it's gonna stay like this.
Can you clarify the XXX? You had tweeted out that you had a song with them, but I didn't see it in the track listing.
Well, when I tweeted it, I was very excited about the record. You know, the record's a very dope record, but the clearance and the business side of it didn't let me clear it in time. So, you know, hopefully we get it out though soon, and everybody can still hear it. Okay. You know, but it didn't make the deadline for this.
Tory, you ever feel like people don't know how talented you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel like that all the time.
And it's almost like, not that it's an uphill battle, but it's like damn, man, like I wouldn't even know. That's why I just say Tory Lanez. I wouldn't know what, if I had to put you in a box, I wouldn't know what to call you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's times
what it is? I'm like, if I was like a Pokemon, I'd be like that one Pokemon. Y'all remember Ditto? Yes. Ditto was like this Pokemon that like could fight, like it doesn't matter, fight Charizard and just turn into Charizard. But whatever it fought or whatever it was, it could like emulate and morph into whatever it was and use those powers of that Pokemon or whatever the case is. Like, I feel like I'm somebody who literally, like, it doesn't matter who is in the game. Like, I've sat and dissected everybody's style. Like, and there's not one of them styles that I can't do. I can write music in all your styles. I can if I wanted to, if I was real like fuck boy, I could sing all your songs in your voices. Right. If I wanted to, right? Like if I was just on some weird, like, what the fuck's wrong with this nigga? Yeah. Like I could do that. You feel me? Like I could use all y'all styles. And that's what people get like twisted with me. They be like, yo, Tory, he's this nigga, we biting and he be da-da-da-da. And sometimes like they be like, yo, and you sound like da-da-da-da. It's not that I sound like, I just decided to. It's like an ingredient. It's like, oh, use
like, can you imagine? Almost like, can you imagine what I could do if I really?
But it's like having that plethora of different things to choose from, especially even different styles to choose from. I'm not saying stealing or taking anybody's actual style, but taking it down whatever lane that they can take it down. Having all of that, and then plus having the plethora of my own shit. Right. It's like, bro, it's so much shit, bro. Like I can't, like I don't know what to, you know what I'm saying? I can't be like, here, I'm gonna drop 50 songs of all different flavors so you guys can hear.
Is there a Latin album coming as well?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Jesus. When?
You told me since Memories Don't Die that you're gonna drop this all Latin album, Spanish, and you dropped By Me.
Well, Memories Don't Die and Love Me Now are technically supposed to be connected. They were supposed to drop around the same time, but I'm finishing the Spanish album and I wanted to add other artists to it. I wanted to add.
You already have a big ass list.
No.
Ozuna, Bad Bunny, J Balvin.
I never had Bad Bunny.
Faruco, Bad Bunny's not?
No, I never.
That's the internet thought so.
The internet thought so.
Nah.
Who else?
No, you didn't get Bad Bunny?
So then you should get Bad Bunny.
Oh, man.
Who do you have on the album then?
Bunny.
So far?
What's that? I'm gonna hit you back. Yeah, let me finish it with Tory.
Nah, so
sorry about that.
Pretty much like
that was Bad Bunny.
Ozuna for sure.
Ozuna, Nicki Jams. I got Nina Sky on it.
What?
On some fly shit. Yeah, I got him.
Bringing back Nina Sky. Okay,
on some fire shit. It was really dope. On Wells on it.
Okay.
We're gonna get J Balvin.
So
on it.
this is you already working,
but there's people that I have to get on it.
Like who?
Like I gotta get an Angle Flow on it. I gotta get a Romeo on it.
Okay.
I gotta go after these people. Like I gotta try to get a Maluma. I gotta.
Definitely.
You know what I'm
Where
saying?
Does that
like
come from though? You know what I'm saying? To like say I'm gonna do an entire album
in Spanish
and
I live
know
in Miami.
who you make.
I live in Miami, man, where it's pretty women and palm trees.
I heard that.
And a lot of Spanish women and Spanish music and Spanish culture is there. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you're in the club and you're listening to all the hottest hip hop songs, and then they have that one point where they play Debote and you're like, and everyone's just going crazy, and you're like, yo, what the hell happened? Like, this is crazy. Like, how did that just, like, it's a whole different party.
But you know what's even crazier, and I say about having your finger on it, is that you're already so many songs in, and we're really starting to see a turn in that direction even more so now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to have your finger on that pulse.
To be 100% too, what's crazy about it for me is like sometimes people think, you know, with like the songs that I started with and like the songs that may have started and got me big in the first place when it came to a major scale, like sometimes I think people think that like I can't jump into that bag like after I've already gone to wherever I'm at. Like people think that like I can't jump into the Say It and the Love bag and the, like in those kind of songs, and it's like I purposely do not make certain type of music sometimes because I'm exploring other things, and that's just the gift and the curse with being versatile.
Right.
Because, and like you said, not being able to show all your talents, because it's like when you're exploring this, then the fan base over here starts to believe that you can't do this anymore. And then you come over here and do this, and then they're like, yo, man, we started getting used to you doing this, man. What do you...
How do you super serve
you know
all that
saying?
without going crazy?
I mean, personally, I've learned to just not care and just like make music.
Right.
Like no matter what's going on, like just make music.
Yeah, because I think if you start to try to zero in on what's going on or trying to satisfy everybody or trying to satisfy that person right there, then whatever feels good to you, make what feels good to you first, and we'll come.
Definitely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
Amir said, ask him about the Lil Wayne remix. Alrighty.
That's what you did, Amir?
Man, oh man, he came to the window, man. He came to the window. What's going down?
Yeah, well, Wayne just jumped on Talk to Me, the remix. And
It's done?
He's skated.
Nice.
That might be like 'cause I'm a real Wayne fan. It's one of my biggest influences especially when it comes to rapping and, you know, a lot of the different sounds and ways that I can take it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like ashamed to say that. Like I love Lil Wayne's like music. I've always grown up. I was in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like I love Lil Wayne's music. So when he jumped on the record, I was like I wonder if I'm gonna get one of them legendary Wayne verses.
Did you get it?
Got a legendary.
Where's it
Wayne
at?
verse.
Is it in your
You
phone?
gonna hear it? We gonna give it straight to you guys.
All right. I don't know.
We gonna give it straight to
I
you
hope
guys.
so.
But give it to us now and tell us when we can play it.
I don't got an MP3 player on me or nothing like
You got
that.
it on
Like, you know what I'm
file. You
saying?
have it on here. Don't lie to us. We got you.
But I promise it's
How soon?
because it's gonna come out. We're gonna have to add it to the album as well, because clearly
Like a bonus track.
Like a deluxe
like
version.
a bonus
Yeah.
track or something like that. But y'all will get it like within the next week or two, I believe.
What did
So,
you
yeah.
think about the Carter 5?
It was crazy. It was crazy. The uproar is crazy.
Is that your favorite? on the
Yeah,
album?
that's my favorite. I just like the old New York.
Yeah, the energy from Special
Like,
Delivery.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
like it was hard. It was hard how they did it, and just Swizz and
And he killed that too, though.
Mm-hmm.
He killed that. I can't wait to hear it, but since you fronting on us again,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
we'll wait like all the others.
We'll try
All
to
right.
arrange
all I'm gonna say is Lil Wayne skated on Talk to Me. He skated.
Well, I don't think he did.
Well, you gonna find out.
I loved seeing, Drake bring you out OVO Fest last year. And we also saw Drake squash his beef with Meek Mill, but you're good friends with Meek. Were you a part of maybe just being like bringing them together and being like, F all this, let's squash it?
Nah, I mean, I think on maybe a couple occasions I've told Meek like, yo, y'all should squash it, and then I probably told Drake in certain conversations like, yo, if there's a way that y'all, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit there and be like I had something to do with it. I ain't know what was going on. I was surprised just like y'all was surprised. Nigga. Seen this nigga coming out the stage and shit. I'm like, oh shit.
Like it happened. But
Okay.
how did you arrive there too? You know what I'm saying? Because for you to see Meek and Drake kind of get together and arrive, you had to kind of arrive there too. How do you get from where you and Drake, whatever that situation was, how did you guys say, you know what, man, we grown men?
We just got on a conversation. The whole time we was like beefing or whatever. We never spoke. We weren't speaking
Right.
on the phone. There's no man-to-man conversation was ever, and it was like a lot of the other pieces around it was the reason behind it. That
And then plus social media.
social
Keeps
media
things
just
going,
just
man.
made
Reaching
things
all the time.
It made things a lot crazier than they were sometimes. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I egged a lot of shit on. But social media definitely ODs the situation and takes other things that have nothing to do with it and makes it into something,
Is that a process of growing up on your end too? Even when you say, yeah, I did, I did say
It's
couple
honest.
things.
I'm just a very honest person, bro. I like, man.
Yeah, like a hell of a.
Like I just rather just be honest about situations. You know what I'm saying? Like and when there was a lot of things that I did that was immature in the situation, and then there was things that I did because I felt like I had to stand my ground. And at the end of the day, in all great artists' lives, at some point you have that defining moment of whether or not you stand or you lay down. And I just chose to stand in that time. But it's like when you look back at it, it's like we was just fucking up the money.
Yeah.
Messing up the bag.
Fuck what we doing, my nigga.
And giving
Like it
everybody
literally was
else
like
a show.
when we had a conversation, it was literally one point in the conversation like, yo, we're fucking up the money.
Yeah, like
what are we
when it
doing?
comes down to,
Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't
Like-
paying no bills with beef. You know what
like,
I'm
my nigga,
saying?
what are we doing, bro? Like,
Tori, are you in a relationship?
No.
That's a big ass ring on your ring finger. Is that
No.
you just married to your music, married to yourself?
Married to, yeah. I'm just
You
married
got
to the game.
you got a lot going on over there, if I may say so. You know what I'm saying?
Very
Like,
bright.
Yeah. You're not gonna present us with nothing, huh? Or did just check?
Wow, he stayed quiet.
He stared you down.
He didn't
Speechless,
even
huh?
bring in a
Stare
"Love
off
Me
just
Now"
It was
jacket.
like a-
Nothing.
It was like a stare off. It was
Yeah,
like a.
and it was almost a little uncomfortable
Yeah.
too.
He's
You
on
didn't
to
bring
your
a
soul.
"Love Me Now" jacket
Nah,
in
I'm just
or
playing. I'm gonna
nothing,
get you
man.
a special big boy chain.
Now you're making a thing.
I'm
Yeah.
serious.
I don't like when you lie.
How
Yeah,
you know? How
man.
you? All right, so watch. So next time if I
Because
come
every
in,
time you lie, you do your hands like
Yeah.
this.
We've seen
Word.
it.
Your hat moves a little
Every
bit.
time you lie.
There's a whole website about it.
As soon as you start lying, you go, oh.
I know you.
I'm telling
He's
y'all.
lying.
Hey.
Alright.
There he goes again.
Put
I
my
can
hands
pick up
back
this
like
building.
this now.
Yeah, see, every time you
I'm
lie.
gonna get
So tell
you
us
a
about
big
this
boy
big
you
chain.
start
alright?
talking about the album, you like this. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, this isn't true.
But
this
when
is
you
only,
diamonds?
this is only when I gotta really be like, look at somebody and be like, "Yo, bro, I promise it's gonna get done." Like,
Man, I don't need the
We
chain.
don't need
man.
fake promises and fake chains.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. What you say? We
Fake
don't
chains.
Damn.
You don't need
It's like
fake
that.
promises and fake
So you think
Hey,
I'm gonna
man.
come through? You think I'm gonna come through the station, not give him a chain, and if I did give him a chain, you think it's
We
gonna
had like
be a
some
fake one?
rhinestones.
I
or
think it
something.
will be.
Rhinestone.
I think it will be. You know what I'm saying?
It's the thought that counts.
That's true.
Oh, he calling me fake.
Hey, man.
See? You see? Just confirms what I said he was going to do.
Banks, Jose, sit down.
So let me ask you something.
Make sure that door is locked too. You got some fucking goons
So
out there.
here's what I'm running here like,
What? I want to dress up as a big homie on Halloween.
Nah, somebody. You know it's crazy because like somebody even recently, like they gave me like a
Oh no.
fake piece of jewelry, and it was a gift though,
Wasn't an artist?
and so I
That's
didn't know
nice.
whether or not
to say it?
to be like I had to be like, it's the thought that counts at the end. But like, what would you say?
Do you know what? Is it somebody good enough that you could say, "Come on, man"?
you got.
Like no. I would tell him like, "Hey, man, you know that was $3 bill when you gave that to me." Like,
But it's like it's one of those things where it's like I know the person knows, you know where you got it from. It
Yeah,
wasn't
you know what,
like
yeah.
you know, it's
You know
just
what?
like should we?
I think Tory, you take it.
But I took it like it's
I
the
appreciate
thought
it.
that counts.
Who was it?
You know?
so I can look out when they
We
bring
ain't
me
gonna do
mine.
'em like that.
Who
What'd
was
you
it?
do
with the
You know what?
chain?
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
We ain't gonna do 'em
Yeah.
like that.
Write it down for me. Don't say it. I'll say it. Here, you just write it down. You don't say it, so that way you keep your
Look,
plate
man.
clean.
What'd you do with it afterwards? Do you have
He
to
gonna,
like?
he
Nah, I
gonna
still
bring it to
got
me
it.
next
I
week.
still got it in a
What are you
little
talking
Do you
about?
have to wear it sometimes when they're around? You're like,
little
ah.
box that I got it in. Nah. It's like I
They
said. it's the thought
presented
that
you with
counts.
a fake piece of a fake chain.
It's
It wasn't a
the
fake
thought.
chain. It was like a ring.
It's the thought that counts.
But what does the thought that counts mean?
I don't know.
It's like someone still thought about you.
They wanted to gift
It
you
wasn't a
with
real
something.
reason for them to give me a gift. You get what
Oh.
I'm saying? It was just like they
Okay,
just
without
kinda
saying the
gave
name,
it.
will we know the person?
No,
Okay.
that's why I'm saying. I'm
okay.
just talking about a regular person.
Okay.
here.
Well, yeah, that was nice then. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you like
Yeah.
shiny
That was
things. They're
sweet.
trying to impress you,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. And then
So if it was an artist, it would have been like
it
so
would
it
have
had
been,
been a whole
foul.
different
It would've been
situation.
foul. I would have been like,
That's
man,
fucked up. You know what's
I would
crazy?
have been like,
Like-
this falling out the sky done softened you, man.
Nah, that's crazy.
The old
man.
Tory
Like,
would have. The old Tory would have went in. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, it is the thought that. Is this somebody that do like a 9 to 5, like?
Not necessarily a 9 to 5, but something like that.
They could have came with something real though.
You could have came
Okay,
with
all
a
right, I got
little
you.
something.
Yeah.
Something, but
Yeah.
I'm not tripping.
Well, it sounds like you are.
I got-
you know what I'm saying? You did bring up the story.
I'm
You know
just
what saying? You
saying,
sound very
man. I was trying to
materialistic
show
me.
you that if I gave you something fake, it was the thought that counts. That was the point of the story.
But don't bring me nothing fake though, man, because the thought that
That's the
counts
thing.
sound bad.
Why? You know what's crazy? This whole thing with artists and rappers. Like, why do we always got to do shit that's worth so? Like, why everything we do got to be worth so much money, bro? Like, why can't I just? Like, why can't I get a nigga some sneakers, my nigga, and it's just all right, bro? Like, you know
I
what's
would
crazy?
love that.
Like,
Well, let's go get some sneakers
love
then.
sneakers.
and that's fine.
You the one who said big
That's
ass
fine.
chains
This
and
nigga's
stuff.
gonna cost me like $200. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. Like,
Let's
you know what I'm
go.
saying? But it's like niggas gotta come here
Why you
and give
keep
you
looking
some
over here?
100 because he feeling me, bro. It's the one nigga in the room that's just feeling
You know
me, bro.
why? Because he a fucking groupie. He don't even come and hang out with us. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't seen him in a while.
He don't even come and hang out with us. This
They
dude,
doing you like that.
oh my
for you.
gosh, man.
Where were
They
you for
doing
us?
you like that.
He
Where
paid
we
to
gonna
sit
fix
in for the
it?
interview.
Oh,
Hey man,
He
we
came for
did
you,
a thing
not
where
for
we
us.
said pay $1,000 to sit in on the Tory Lanez interview. Elijah Banks
Guys.
won the bid. No, that's my guy right there, man. But on the real, man, and just speaking with you real, this is my artist, Elijah Banks. And it was crazy because I was like, man, we waiting on Tory. He was like, Tory Lanez? And he don't really say a lot. You know what I'm saying? He just do his music.
He was
so on and
really
so.
quiet.
But he was like, yeah, he's very quiet. He was like, hey, man, that's my favorite artist. I fuck with, bro.
Oh, love, man.
Like
I
real
appreciate that
talk.
shit
So,
for
and
real.
he don't come and hang out.
Real
You know
for
what I'm
real.
saying? So
Thank you,
for
bro. I
him to just be
appreciate
in
that
the
shit.
room, though. You know what I'm saying?
shout out Elijah
And you know
Banks.
I was fucking with you on the groupie thing, but no, he definitely.
Nah,
he
shout out
definitely a good
Elijah
dude.
Banks, bro. Shout out to
man.
you, bro.
No, we don't need that. We need the verse. Yeah, that's
what's
what
up?
we need. Yeah.
I'm saying,
What
what's
you
up?
doing after? No, fuck
Forget
that.
the
Fuck
fake
that chain
chain and
and
the
them shoes.
sneakers.
Like, look, man, we need that. We need that verse.
Really?
We got the vocals
Yeah,
in.
yeah. You got a verse you can just email to me real quick.
Don't worry, I got a couple
Hit me up
little
on my
things
Gettysburg
on the stash,
address.
man.
Hit me up on my Gettysburg address.
I got a little thing, a couple things in
right.
the stash, man.
All right.
I'll send you one of them little hooks I got.
All right, we want one of the good ones though. We want how Lil Wayne did you.
Yeah,
I
legendary.
got you. I'm gonna skate.
All right, and your hands weren't like this.
Look at that.
Bruh,
This is the truth.
the only time my hands would have had to come up is if you would have been like, bruh, you finna not do it. And then I had to been like, bruh, I'm finna do it, bruh.
Oh, so it's more of a
It's like
explain.
a bruh. Like, why don't you believe me,
Gotcha,
bruh?
man.
Like,
Okay, so let me retract. I thought that was when you lied.
Nah,
it was just
nah,
more
nah,
like
nah,
you're
nah.
expressing it. Like, come on, man.
on, man.
All
Like,
righty,
you
all righty.
know?
When you were talking about the incident on the plane, you said that you didn't want to go without impacting the world. Aside from your music, how else do you want to impact this world?
I just want to start doing more like charitable things. Not just charitable things, but I really want to get in with like certain things when it comes to like schools and like kids that like are on the verge of dropping out and kids that like are the like I want to really get with the kids that they call the bad kids, you know, because I was like one of those kids growing up that, you know, my mom died and I was very confused and like I rebelled against a lot of things. But if somebody was there to kind of explain to me certain things, I feel like, especially if somebody that I actually watched on TV and cared about was there to explain certain things, that would have been crazy. It probably
How
would
old
change
were you
my
when your
whole
mom
life.
passed?
I was 11.
11, and you were
13.
damn,
I
man.
was talking about it, yeah.
Yeah, and so now when you not fast forward to where you are now, man, but like my mom passed, but I couldn't imagine my mom passing at that early of an age, and you do start to look for, you know, not a replacement, but like kind of a filler.
Yeah.
And with you being in the position that you're in, and being able to be even just some kind of voice to somebody, because everybody in here remembers something that somebody told you at some point in your life.
Definitely.
I remember, Tory, when I was 9 years old, I was like 10. We were homeless. And we lived in a place called the Sunlight Mission, and it was a place for homeless families, and you had to go to church. And I remember one day I was at church, and I went to go do a prayer, and I was walking back, and it seemed like this lady grew out of the ground. And she just looked at me, she said, "Don't let the devil get you." And she walked on.
Wow.
I never seen her before, never seen her after. I didn't even see her approaching me. And every time just growing up, anytime, and you know, we got to grow up, we got to crash the car, we got to F up.
Of course.
Every time that stayed in the back of my head. When I would get caught up, when I would do certain things, I'd be like, "Big, damn, Kurt, don't let the devil get you. Don't let the devil get you." And it's one of those things that I just replayed. So where you are now, with people being able to look at you, you're that voice now.
And give him back.
Yeah.
And
it's incredible to even be that for somebody, you know, because when I like you said, when you look for a filler, I didn't have a filler, and so that just grew just a cold rock in my soul, like you feel me. So it caused me to look at things without sympathy and like look at things in ways that, you know, weren't really the best outlook on them. So like to be a voice that can actually help people not go through that. That's why I said like I want to do more stuff that has to do with the kids and actually going and speaking to kids and like being a part of like the inner city stuff that happens with like just the kids that get suspended all the time, the kids that get expelled all the time, because that's what I was going through. You know, so
how did you not fall through the cracks? Because you know, there's some people that
I was close.
You feel like you feel like you have a reason or a valid reason.
It's very close, bro. I was very, very, very close. And music just saved my life. Music saved my life.
Any other family?
Like as far as what?
Like brothers, cousins, whatever, or were you just kind of solo?
Yeah, no. I got we were 6 kids. So you know, but everybody moved out.
Yeah.
Everybody moved up to Canada at the time. Niggas, and they moved up to Montreal too. I lived in Toronto. So my family, like when I was younger and I was growing up, by the time once my mom died, it's like my whole family went split. It's like my dad was very vulnerable at the time. The family kind of started going like this because it was no structure, it was no rock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we just kind of all started scattering.
And right now, man, do you have kids or no kids?
I have one son.
And how old is your son?
He's a year and like 8 months.
It's a whole different world when you have your own little one, huh?
Yeah, man. He's walking and talking and saying 1, 2, 3 and wheels on the bus. And
Don't it feel like now there's a whole different purpose? You know how we would hustle, you'd do certain things and it was selfish. It was the I and me. Now it's us and we.
Yeah,
and like
that'd be part of the reason why like I don't be taking no check like when it comes to like being in the world and like with artists or anybody, like because it comes to a point where it's like, bro, I need y'all to understand. I'm not a tough guy, but I promise you guys I'm coming home to my son. Yeah. Promise. I don't care what situation. I don't give a, it could be 40 niggas outside the real 92.3 building right now. And they could all be ready to, I'm going home to my son, bro.
Tory, let me tell you, I say the same thing. I say, hey man, I'm gonna make it home to my family.
I'm telling you, I'm going home. I'm going home, bro. Like,
I will be at the crib.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm going home.
And even asking you if you had a son, I remember when you were talking about the plane situation, you was like, what the first thing you thought about was my son.
Like, damn, like, what's my son gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is it. Like, what am I, you know?
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
You and Chris Brown collab joint project. Is that really happening?
Yeah.
Why Chris?
I literally was with him yesterday, and every time we see, because we work really fast.
Dude, Chris Brown is in Australia.
Bruh.
God.
This liar.
Okay, I'm just playing. I didn't know.
With him last night. Like, look at my Instagram story. It's on it.
My bad. I'm sorry.
You really had me going for a second. I was really like, yo.
Like who was I
Maybe
with?
this nigga was really in Australia. Like, who was that last night? Like, nah.
So y'all working on a project now?
But we're working on it's crazy because I've been working on these little side like things with a lot of artists. Like me and Meek's been working on something. Me and Chris been working on something. I started something with A Boogie. It was like it's a lot of like little things. You know, I think I want to do like a series that's like a My World, the Your World series, and and I work with and I make little small projects.
You got a lot inside of you as far as like that you create.
Yo, you know what else is gonna come out? The Chixtape 5.
Okay.
It's sounding crazy.
How?
I can't keep up with him.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you keep up with yourself?
Huh?
How do you keep up with yourself? You have all of these projects.
And then when do you say, okay, this is the project I'm working on? This the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, right now I'm it's crazy because I'm like one of those guys. I gotta move. And what I'm even more excited about is like I used to come on the stations and be like, yo, you know, I got this project coming, this project, but I'm always somebody who I'm working on this and then I'm working on this, that, and the third. Like I work on multiple projects
and always creating.
I'm always creating, but now it's been just the Chixtape that I've been working on, and then my own artists, like the artists that are signed to the umbrella. Like I got this kid named Mansa. He's disgusting. He was on my last project, and I'm very excited about his music because he just like all my artists is finally just finishing they project, and I don't even mean to say like artists, but we're like on the same label as far as I may have been the person that signed them, but I don't mean to say like my artist. I mean to say like the artists that I've signed and I've worked with and I work with, Poppy, Davo, Mariah, Mansa, and these artists are like about to bust shit. And it's like I'm so excited because finally like it's like projects are done, things are finished. Now I don't have to, you know, be up here and be like, yeah, I got some artists on the way.
And then just the standard of knowing how you record and what you do. It's got to be, you know, I don't think that you picking up somebody that don't go with the standard.
I I have no homeboys,
Mm-hmm.
no homeboy artists. There's
Damn.
no niggas that I was just like, yo, I like this nigga's my nigga.
Give
And
him
he got
a-
he got some talent. Or this nigga can sing well, and this is my nigga. I'm gonna sign. No, I have none of those. I have real writing, music packaged people. Like you have the whole package, and like it took me a long time to stumble on these kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's different time that I found each and every one of them, but I gave each and every one of them
2019.
2018, I want to say, because the year's not over. It's fourth quarter, and I always want them in the world to understand that they'll drop either, fourth quarter when all the big dogs drop, or they're gonna drop, at the starting of the year when everything's empty.
I heard that.
Because they're big dogs, and like I'm talking about people that are gonna be around for the next 10 to 15 years making music. Like Mariah, out of here. Mansa, out of here. Papa Yurt, out of here. Davo, out of here. Promise, they're gonna go just like I am.
All right, we shall.
That's all I want to end with.
Well,
We'll be there with you.
There you
All
go.
right, man. Definitely want to thank you for coming into the neighborhood and hanging out with us, my good
man.
friend.
I love y'all, man. Y'all know what it is.
Man, pleasure to have you up in here, man.
Yeah.
And please, the next time you come through, please answer the questions that we ask.
I got you, man.
No, you answer.
I got
No,
you,
yeah.
man.
But no, thank you for coming into the neighborhood, man. Big Boy's
Big
neighborhood.
You already know.